What's up and welcome back to another episode of Chasing Kona Season 3. It is Saturday morning, it is 9:15, 9:20-ish, and it is cold outside. And that's exactly why typically while I would normally be getting ready for a workout, I'm not. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit before I start working out today. So what I wanna talk about today though is the goals I'm setting for Ironman Texas. Now I know, if you follow this channel, you know that I usually set my goals up here and I always land somewhere down here, okay? These goals are actually well thought out and they're all on the whiteboard over there, right there, boom, that top section. And there's a reason I'm setting these goals because I honestly legitimately believe I can do them, but we'll get into that later. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go downstairs and eat breakfast because you need breakfast, okay? Especially if you're getting ready for a workout, which is for today. It's a 60-minute bike, 30-minute run, so it's a brick workout. And that's why I'm waiting till it gets a little warmer so that when I run outside, I'm sweaty, I'm not gonna freeze my ass off. But we're gonna eat, we're gonna do that. After the run, after the bike run, we are going to talk about the goals for Ironman Texas, why we're setting them, what our true expectations are, where I think our high-end, like our overreaching goal is, and where I think we're actually going to land, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Happy New Year, since this is the first video I'm recording post New Year, so if you're watching this, Happy New Year. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the day started, and once this day actually happens, I'll show you. And we do have a few additions to the house. As you know, we have guinea pigs. My wife got 2 guinea pigs. They, on New Year's Eve, had babies. So we now have 7 guinea pigs. The 2 adults that we thought were both male, and then the 5 babies that were born on the morning of December 31st. So we are officially a zoo at this point. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get the day started. I'll see you for breakfast.
Where did Puffs go? There you are. Come here. Oh, oh, yo, yo, yo.
And that is my go-to breakfast. Now, I know I'm gonna emphasize this, and it's probably a little bit more petty than it has to be, but I saw Nick Bear a couple videos ago talk about how this was his go-to breakfast. And if you watch Nick Bear videos, you know he's always been about the sweet oats. So with fruit and peanut butter and things with the honey and stuff in his oatmeal. I've been doing this for years. And all of a sudden he's like, well, this is my go-to breakfast. No, not really, buddy. All you gotta do is say, I saw a YouTuber on, another triathlete doing this, thought I'd give it a try. Good shit, okay? Again, he's got 1 million subscribers. I've got 200. So I'm not gonna get the recognition I want, but I'll put this tab here for the first time I put this breakfast on my channel. And you can see for yourself whose go-to breakfast this truly is. Anyway, what do we got here? We got 60 grams of oats with water and 1 scoop of base salts for 290 milligrams of electrolytes, 138 grams of egg whites, and 1 whole egg with 60 grams of sliced turkey meat cut up in there, all put up on the oatmeal, topped with sriracha sauce. That is my go-to breakfast before a workout. In about an hour, hour and a half, we're gonna be on the bike getting this workout done. So I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna finish hydrating, I'm gonna enjoy some relaxation time before the workout. I'll see you on the bike.
In the red corner,
So for Christmas, we got Gigi a VR MetaQuest 3. And of course, it's not just for her, it's for the whole family to use. One of the games, she likes playing like the weird games, like I think she got a Five Nights at Freddy. She likes to play like the Gorilla Tag, some of the default games that come with it. I think we downloaded her like 2 games, whatever. But one of the games we downloaded was Beat Saber, which I didn't think it was gonna be hella fun. It's hella fun. What I was just playing was the demo for Creed Legacy or whatever. Dude, super intense cardio, like as your heart rate gets up. The only problem is you gotta make sure you have enough room, right? I had a limited surrounding around me, right? So it's like it tells you, hey, this is your environment, this is where you can go, your boundary, whatever. Don't go outside your boundary, otherwise the game will basically turn off or pause. If you play that game right, you're ducking and dodging. I was stuck in the circular boundary. But if I had a whole ass room for a boundary, you're ducking and dodging in a boxing match. And you could bump into some stuff. I know my brother-in-law, when he played, I want to say he was playing the Gorilla Tag, where you basically move around like a gorilla. And he hit his hand on one of these shelves here and gashed his knuckles open. I've bumped into stuff. I almost took down a Christmas tree downstairs playing the boxing game. Gigi's had a couple cuts, nicks and bruises coming up from here. But this is hella fun. Gets your heart rate up pretty nice. But right now, I'm warmed up. I think it's warm enough outside. I'm gonna go ride. I got my pre-workout downstairs. I'm gonna go get changed. And I'll see you in the gym. All right, today's workout is Beyond Raw Lit. Typically I would use my Energize, but I've been out of Energize for like 3 weeks now, and for some reason it hasn't come in. That's the joy of doing 2 to 3 workouts a day, is you're constantly pumping at caffeine to get your energy levels back up and the motivation and the desire to do it. I'll go through the motions, but I want that caffeine rush to kind of really push me through. I've been out of Energize for a couple weeks now. Hopefully, I know it was shipped. Hopefully it gets here soon, but obviously it's not gonna be today. So here's Beyond Raw Watermelon Jolly Rancher, I think this is. And then we're gonna get changed and head on the bike. Okay, so we're finally in the garage, waiting on Zwift to load up so we can get our ride done. Today's workout is a 60-minute bike and a 30-minute run off the bike, so a 30-minute brick run. And the goal for today is just zone 2. So it's just 60 minutes in the saddle. Make sure you're spinning high, 85 to 90 cadence, and really just kind of stay in that zone 2 power range. Okay, now, why am I doing zone 2? Well, because again, you're trying to build your endurance on top of the more anaerobic workout sessions of like the power intervals and stuff like that. So the course I'm going to be riding is called the Three Sisters, and this is a very hilly ride. Now, I'm in Texas. I'm racing Ironman Texas. If you've seen the elevation chart for Ironman Texas, which I'll put right here, it is not a very hilly ride. So why am I riding hills? 2 reasons. 1, I got races later on this year that I need to ride hills for. And 2, it's tradition that there is a lot of wind on the toll road portion of the bike, and that toll road is like 80 miles of the bike course. So if you can't prepare for wind by riding outside, which I refuse to do until it's closer to race day for safety purposes, you ride hills. Because if you think about it, wind, the resistance you get from a headwind, is nothing but a long hill. So if I get used to pushing power up these hills, pushing power through a headwind is not really going to be that bad. And then of course I get the benefit of the tailwind, whichever direction it's going. Hopefully the tailwind is coming home and not going out. So we're gonna knock out this 60-minute ride, get on the road, do a 30-minute run, zone 2. Again, just kind of getting the legs used to moving off the bike and just getting into that rhythm within 3 to 5 minutes of getting off the bike. So I'll come in, go get my shoes on, walk out the front door, go for my run, and do it that way, and be on my way. And then, once I get home, showered, refed, and stuff like that, then we will talk about the whole heart of the video, goals for Ironman Texas. So, let's get this ride and run done. All right, so we're done working out, we're done showering. Today is done as far as workouts go. So right now I'm eating shepherd's pie, which my wife made last night. So it's homemade shepherd's pie, nothing weird in it, nothing whatever in it. Let's go over today's workouts. I'll put them both up here one at a time. So first we got the bike. The bike was on Zwift, so it was all computer controlled. Just under 17 miles in the hour. Average was 175 watts, which is ideal for what I wanted to do. Zone 2 for me is like 130 something to 190 something watts. I don't know. You know what? I'll put it right here. That's my zone 2 wattage wise for the bike. Again, it's not about speed. It's not about whatever. I was riding hills, so the elevation was, I think I hit 1,000 feet of elevation in the 1 hour that I was riding, which is great because I don't think there's 1,000 feet of elevation in the entire Ironman Texas bike course. So 2 hours, 3 hours of riding on that will absolutely be phenomenal if I can get, you know, just mentally get into the mindset of doing that all over and over again. So the bike was good, and then we jumped right into the run. The run was 30 minutes at zone 2. Zone 2 is like low 11s to 10:30s or something like that for me. I'll put that here as well for my zone 2 run. So I averaged 10:40 minutes per mile. Managed to go 2.8 miles. Heart rate was high on this, but like I don't think it wasn't really that high. I think it's just the watch not reading it right. So you take that with a grain of salt. But it was nice. Great temperature, 66 degrees from the start. I had a good day. I feel fine, showered, cleaned up, ready to go. Day is over workout wise. Let me eat my lunch. We'll go upstairs and we'll talk about goals, and then we'll wrap up this video. All right, so let's wrap this video up and talk about goals for Ironman Texas. Now I'm just gonna leave this at Ironman Texas. I'm not gonna talk about anything after Texas, not until we get a little closer to at least finishing Texas. If I look too far into the future, I'm gonna screw myself up for what I need to do right now, okay? What are my goals for Ironman Texas? Well, first and foremost, I'm racing Dom and Helen. My primary goal is going to be to beat both of them. Okay, that's just bragging rights. That's not I don't like them, whatever. That's literally just the three of us having an internal competition where it's just, you know, a fun competition between the 3 tri-possibility coaches. And I want to at least beat them. Okay, if I don't beat them, it's not going to be because I suck. It's going to be because one of them was better than me on that day. Does that mean I suck as an athlete? Well, maybe a little bit. But essentially, the goal is to beat them. As far as my personal time goals, before I go into what my goals are, let's talk about my last race. My last Ironman race, which was Chattanooga. Chattanooga was a tremendous swim. River swim, 57 minutes. Now let's be real. I will never swim that fast again unless it is in a river going downstream with a current as fast as Chattanooga, okay? So I have to look, to set this goal, I have to look at my current pool times, my current swim times. Right now I'm averaging about, I think I did a time trial yesterday, I think I was around 145 per 100 yards. All right, so minute 45 per 100 yards. So if I know you're always a little slower in open water than you are in the pool. So I knocked that back to about 150 per 100, which is about a 1 hour and 10 minute, 2.4 mile swim. That is a solid goal. It's not overreaching too much. It's not like I'm saying I want 140s. 150 is a solid goal. My fastest open water swim at the Ironman distance that didn't have a current was probably Ironman Florida in 2019, and I think that was 121, and I wasn't nearly as trained as I have been in the past. Helen has done a great job kicking my ass in the water to where I'm becoming a stronger swimmer. So that's kind of where that goal is coming from, okay? Both transition goals, I want to be out of there in 5 minutes. I don't want to have to worry about taking my time because I'm gassed or whatever. I feel like I'm ahead of schedule. So I want 5 minute transition times. Maybe I can go up as high as 7 minutes. So if I change these 2 times, 7 minutes, okay, they're that. So let's go between 5 and 7 times for transition. So right now after transition 1, we're at about an hour 17 to get onto the bike. The bike, my goal is going to be 21 miles an hour or faster. Now, a lot of things are going to come into this. Are my legs going to be conditioned? how bad is the headwind going to be, because again, there will be a wind. Can I push through it? Can I maintain a power above where I am now? All right, have I gotten close to 21 before? Yes. At Gulf Coast, I did 20.4 miles an hour, and I didn't even know where my power was because I didn't have a bike computer. So training with wattage, once I get outside, I'll have a better idea. I'll do a time trial outside probably in March just to kind of see where I'm at, what my FTP is on the road, and that'll give me a better idea. But my goal, with this goal, I don't know what my wattage is going to translate to. So I don't know what wattage is going to be required for 21 miles an hour, but 21 miles an hour is essentially a 520 on the bike, right? So I would settle for 520 to 530, which would be ideal. So let's change this to 530 and see what it tells me. So 530 is a 20.36 or 20.4. So if I could do what I did at Gulf Coast 70.3, that'll give me 5.5 hours on the bike, which would be probably my fastest Ironman bike split, okay? 7 minutes to date, or 7 minutes in transition 2, and then the final boss for me is gonna be the run. I somehow have to get a phenomenal run. Now, I think my Ironman runs have been like 6 hours plus. So my goal for this one is going to be 5 hours, okay, which is going to be about, if I change this to 5 hours, that's an 11:28 per minute per mile pace for the Ironman marathon. I would be okay with that. Hopefully, and this is going to be the hope, I'm hydrated enough coming off the bike, I have enough energy left in the tank coming off the bike, and I can maintain some kind of a slower split first early, maybe 11:30, 12-minute miles early, and slowly start to speed up to where I can get down to maybe between 11 and 10:30 for the final like 6 miles. That's the hope, okay? If I do those times, 1:10, 7, 5:30, 7, 5, that would give me an 11-hour, 55-minute Ironman. That's the goal. 12 hours or less. So sub 12 is legitimate, okay? I just ran my marathon at 5:17, and that was my fault. You know, it was a shoe issue, it was a training volume issue, right? Not gonna have that issue now. I still have 14 long weeks of training to go, where I can get my volume up and get my distance up and make sure that I have good shoes and I'm ready to go, my hydration is there, ready to roll. My bike, 5.5 hours on the bike, that's never been a problem. The bike has never, in an Ironman, has never really been a problem for me. Florida in 6.5, Chattanooga 6:20 or something like that, right? But I was pacing myself on the bike to get to the run. I think even Gulf Coast, I wasn't even pushing hard, and I was 20.4 miles an hour for an average, and I felt so good on the bike. It wasn't until the run that the wheels said, you know what, I don't even want to go no more. So the biggest question mark for me is going to be, can I feel good enough coming out of transition 2 to have a kick-ass run, right? Now at Chattanooga, I felt really good coming out of transition 2, to where the first 8 miles of the run were phenomenal. Then I hit, maybe the first 9 miles were phenomenal. Then I hit Barton, and those hills took me out, right? And I knew I had to do a whole nother lap of that again. So the second half was a little slower, but I was feeling okay until I hit probably, what was it, miles 16 or 18 or something like that. Maybe even less than that, probably 19 or 20. And then I had to go through the Barton Hills all over again. And then I was destroyed at that point. But I felt really good. So if I could feel really good at Texas, to the point where I can do 2 laps around the lake, which would be 16 miles almost, before the wheels start to fall off, if I can extend the wheels falling off until about 18, 19, maybe 20 miles before that wall really hits me hard, I think I have a shot. We will see though. The goal is gonna be sub 12. Can I do faster than that? Hopefully. If I can push myself to where I can do a sub 5, 4:30 marathon, I'm going to, right? I am going to. If I can push myself to where I'm averaging 22 miles an hour on the bike, but I feel phenomenal, my power's within range, I'm going to. If you watch Ironman videos, Ironman World Championship races, I forget what year it was, might have been 2015, 2016, the year after Sebastian Kienle won it. So it was the first year Jan Frodeno won. Kienle said something on the bike leg, and he said, sometimes you have to be willing to lose the race in order to win the race. You have to risk losing the race in order to win the race. Which means if you want to win this race, you are going to have to do something. You're going to push yourself a little bit harder. Risk blowing up on the run, in his case, to push the bike to get that gap that he needs to feel good on the run. At some point, every triathlete, every Ironman triathlete champion will say to themselves, can I push it this much harder to get the result I want? And that's the goal. That's the glory of triathlon. That's the glory of Ironman racing, is that sometimes you have to see how far you're willing to push yourself to get the desired outcome. And this year has to be the year that I do that. This race has to be the race where I say, I'm going to go for it and hope that I can keep everything together. We're going to hope the nutrition is part of the real solution. We're going to hope the training volume is part of the solution. And we're just going to go from there. We will see. But that's all I got. So the overall goal is sub 12. According to the calculations I just talked about, that would give me an 11-hour, 55-minute race, which is still sub 12, which would be stupendous for me. That would be a almost a 2-hour PR. That would be one major step closer to Kona qualifying. Because again, I don't want to do the legacy. I understand there's nothing wrong with the legacy. I don't want to do it. I want to qualify, period. So I have to, in order to feel good about qualifying, I have to get down to sub 11 to feel good. Even though I know guys in my age group are still doing sub 10s. 2025, the one Ironman race I'm doing is a fast race. We'll see. But I got to get through 2024 first, and this is the first stop in that race. So that's the goal. That's the numbers I'm shooting for, and we're gonna do everything in my power to get it. I'm pushing harder on my interval bikes. I'm running harder on my tempos. I'm running harder on my fartlek runs. I'm pushing zone 2 a little bit faster than prescribed, just to get I'm doing more zone 2, zone 3 running than I am just straight zone 2 running. So still 14 weeks to go of hard training to really improve. Then we get to that point where we're not gaining anything. Then we taper back. 14 more weeks and we're there. A lot of work to do. Let's get it done. See you in the next episode.